Gwyneth Paltrow has just chosen her side. And this is very bad news for Meghan Markle. The Goop founder, someone who has actually made a success of a lifestyle brand despite being a divisive celebrity, has followed as ever. But not Meghan's as ever. Rather, the small New York company now seeking legal advice because a duchess wants to destroy them. And it just gets totally worse in terms of the outrageous actions of Meghan, because now it has emerged there is also an as ever photography company which faces complete ruin as a result of Meghan's snap decision to launch a new brand without doing any due diligence. Meghan doesn't care though. She just followed her first account on Instagram, and of course, it was her own. It was as ever. She's done no kindness, expressed no desire to help out the people whose businesses she is actively ruining. But as a result, there's no way the public are on side with her. And the fact that Gwyneth has sided with this small New York clothing company says it all. Royal YouTube sensation P. Dina said on this, "We are watching a real life tragedy before our eyes. How can the launch of a brand be so horribly implemented when you have millions in your bank account? The stress is taking its toll on her. You can see it on her face alone. When will she learn?" And I'm delighted to say P. Dina joins me live. P. Dina, she's never going to learn because, of course, Meghan Markle talks about kindness, but then in her actions is a bully. She's a bully to her staff. She's a bully to her friends, but she's now a corporate bully too, because what she's effectively saying to these small businesses and to Peroris, the lovely town in Spain, whose logo she's ripped off, is, I've got the backing of Netflix. There's nothing you can do. But what do you make of the fact that Gwyneth Paltrow is clearly coming out against Meghan here?
All right, let's start with the biggest red flag. Meghan Markle literally stole a business name and thought no one would notice. She launched as ever, without checking if the name was already taken. And guess what? A small New York business has been using as ever for years. There's also a photography company that's now facing a branding crisis. A Spanish town is outraged that Meghan copied their coat of arms. And here's the worst part. Meghan has refused to acknowledge the businesses she's harming. She only followed one account on Instagram, her own brand. She's acting like these companies don't even exist. And folks, this is why Gwyneth Paltrow stepping in is huge.
I think it sends a big message to Meghan that she may think she is the one in charge, but there is a whole group of big business women who have been around doing this for a very long time, who are going to side with the smaller business owners and who is going to support those that were around first. I mean, you can't just come out with a name and assume you're just going to use it and push the other person that had it before you aside. It's not the first time that this has happened. It also happened with the Sussex Royal, I believe. That name was also already taken before. And so it just really falls in line with how Meghan has treated people. It's proof that she doesn't care about other people. It's what she wants. It's regardless of what is right, who was there first. It's about her selfishness. And that, I think, it says so much about her character and what we've always been saying. People are not hating on Meghan. They are simply putting out the facts of her behavior. And this proves it. This 100% approves how she is as a person. How do you not know that that name is already taken? How do you not understand that you have to find something unique, something that is your invention? This clearly is not. It just speaks volumes to me also that Gwyneth has done what she's done. That's a very public statement to step aside, Meghan. We are not going to side with you. That's what it says.
I think it's absolutely fascinating, isn't it, P. Dina? I mean, you'll know much more about Gwyneth and her Goop business, being a former Californian girl in that industry. But my take on it is that Gwyneth actually used her, I think unpopularity is too tough a word, but probably her divisive nature with the public to actually make Goop a success. And it's taken her a lot of time. It's been a full-time pursuit. She's really had to build it from the ground up. She pretty much gave up her acting career as a result because she knew that this wasn't a part-time job. And whether you think it's absolutely ridiculous, the fact that she has, her vagina smelling candles and that type of thing, this is now a success. Clearly, she's seen Meghan try and cut corners, and I would say doesn't like it. Because Gwyneth is tough, by the way. Gwyneth is not a woman you want to mess with. She's a bit like the modern day Martha Stewart. And I don't think that she's scared of the competition, but I think she doesn't like the idea that Meghan thinks that this is easy.
Paltrow isn't just a celebrity. She's one of the few stars who has actually built a successful business. She knows what real entrepreneurs go through, and she's not going to sit back and let Meghan get away with this. So the question is, why did Meghan think she could get away with this?
Yeah, I think everyone sees through Megan. I mean, Hollywood especially sees what she's doing. They did this from the very beginning when they came to Los Angeles. It was assuming that we can just, get whatever we want just because we want it. And it really is a slap in the face to people who are hard workers like Gwyneth, who know what it takes to build a successful brand. And how dare you come and try to stomp on people with your Duchess title and feel entitled to just do whatever it is that you want to do? I love that Gwyneth is stepping up for the smaller person in this whole scenario and saying, step aside. I'm on the team of the small business owner. And she's done the right thing because it takes a lot of courage to come out and make your voice heard on what your opinion is, because a lot of people do that. A lot of people will shy away from controversy. And I think coming out and saying something says, I'm brave to step up for what is right. And I commend her for doing that.
P. Dina, what's really interesting is that the Daily Mail have now spoken to the creator of the original New York as ever. And it's clear that he has had serious offers of support and that he is now also considering legal action. And I say, just like I did yesterday in terms of Pereiras and the Spanish mayor, I say sue. Because the problem is, P. Dina, Meghan's never going to learn. And this is one way to teach her. But also, she has conducted all sorts of lawfare over the years that was completely spurious. And actually, there's nothing spurious about stealing someone's lifelong work. So sue. I think the way that she thinks she can get around this is that actually she hasn't patented clothing, whereas As Ever seems to be focused on clothing. But there's so much crossover.
Yes, there is. And you said photography as well, right?
Well, that's
So
exactly, that's a whole new business that was just pointed out to me yesterday, and I haven't heard from them yet. But look, the point is there are other businesses that have been completely railroaded over as a result of her decision, and I think they should sue.
Yeah, absolutely. They should definitely sue. I think people like Megan, they need what I say is a smackdown. That lesson that shows them that you're not going to run over on us. We are going to step up and show you you are not the entitled person you think you are. And it sets a message. It's a great way to actually end up learning. I'm all about learning and being a better person. When you know better, you do better. And Megan needs to definitely start doing better. So someone needs to teach her a lesson. So let's teach her a lesson in the courts, have her get sued over this, because it's the only way she'll actually learn to do better. And yeah, good for them. I think go for it. Yeah, sue, sue, sue. Because Megan's trying to do a lot of different things with her brand. It's going to eventually, I think, cross over into what this New York City company is already
Of course it
doing.
is.
I mean, she talks about fashion and all of that. Yeah, so they have to,
As if she's not going to do clothes. Exactly. And the thing is, it's like, Look, she's exposed herself. We know she's not about kindness at all. She'll railroad over the ordinary folks. She looks down on them. She doesn't give a damn. It's all about her. But that's actually why she needs to be taught a lesson. Can I ask you about this picture, P. Dina? Because there's been a lot of response to the fact that Meghan is dribbling this honey in an odd way. What did you make of it?
Now let's talk about the real problem here. Meghan has done this before. This is not the first time Meghan has been accused of stealing other people's ideas. She copied Michelle Obama's mentorship initiative. She was accused of plagiarizing parts of her children's book. Her 40 by 40 campaign was almost identical to an existing charity. No. She's stealing a brand name and logo and pretending it's hers. This is classic Meghan. Act like she's the first person to ever come up with an idea. Ignore the people who actually did it first. Claim victimhood when she gets called out. And this is why even Hollywood is laughing at her.
Well, it looks very salacious. I mean, I don't know. It just seems
That's what
she's
people
trying
seem to be suggesting, that there's some sort
yeah.
of sexual connotation here, right? Without going into
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
details.
yeah. It looks to be a little bit too much. I don't know. It just seems a little thin for it. It's honey, or what is it? Is it honey? It looks like it's supposed to be, but I don't know. Her friend, the one girl with the singer did the same thing with the jam when she posted her jam a video making grilled toast with the jam. They just make things look very sexualized, and it seems a little bit like they're trying to do something to be very, I don't know, like Gwyneth almost with the name of her candle. And I just think it's a bit much for her. She doesn't have that persona. She doesn't have that kind of brand about herself. She seems more homely. I don't know why you would do that. It just seems like you're trying to be someone who's trying to really get people to like think you're very salacious and very controversial, and it just doesn't work. It falls completely flat. Everything will fall flat for her, by the way. We all know this, right? We're watching it and eating our popcorn. So just keep trying. It won't work.
Yeah, Meghan's mole on this wrote, "You cannot tell me Meghan doesn't know the sexual meaning behind drizzling honey." I'm just going to leave it there. I'm just going to leave it there. But I do want to move on, Pidina, to Canal Citadel, who has actually done some brilliant work showing that Meghan Markle's whole setup now is all just about stealing other ideas. So I really want to take you through this. She's done some good work, and I'll get you to respond on the back. So she posted, once again, Meg has stolen another small business idea, forcing them to recalibrate their brand with their clientele. All this because a lazy, failed actress is stealing other people's intellectual property and hard work to get publicity and save face. But again, this is exactly who Meghan has always been. There is nothing self-made or original about her. Everything is stolen from someone else. And here are the examples. She stole Catherine's paparazzi harassment story and even used the footage from Catherine's ordeal to pass it as hers in her Netflix doc. She stole Catherine's son, Prince George's security codename of Archie for her son and forced William and Catherine to adopt a new one. She tried to appropriate Sussex Royal to trademark it, and the Queen stopped her legally as the titles belong to the Crown. So she stole the Queen's cherished nickname of Lilibet in revenge and trademarked it as hers for her daughter. She stole Archewell from a Filipino business but could never trademark it as they fought her. She stole Archetype and tried to trademark it, but the company Project Miracle IP Holdings, who registered the name in May 2018, fought her and she was forced to withdraw since Spotify cancelled her show and contract. She stole American Riviera Orchard from the actual California zone but could not trademark it because the USPTO denied her.
So at this point, how does Meghan think she can recover from this? Now here's where things get really bad for Meghan. Hollywood is quietly backing away. And that's why Gwyneth Paltrow calling her out is so important. A-list celebrities used to support Meghan. They praised her bravery and activism. Well, they see her for what she really is, a fraud. Folks, when Hollywood turns on you, it's over. And it's not just Paltrow. Oprah hasn't defended her. The Obamas ignored her. Even woke media outlets are questioning her credibility. This is why Meghan is desperately launching random business ventures. But guess what? It's not working.
The brand is now dead. She stole With Love Meghan from Diana's signature, and the whole cooking idea, lifestyle imagery, and characters from both Pamela Anderson and the Marchioness of Bath. Now she has stolen as ever from this small business who is now asking their clientele to use a different tag to not have their traffic stolen too. Everything Meg does is copy, steal, and appropriate other people's life stories and hard work. There is nothing original in that erratic woman but dining on other people's hard work and never giving credit where she stole it from. This is why she keeps failing. She never put in the work. Meg always cheats and appropriates other people's success and hard work. She pays her way to pretend success, but because she has never known what it is to work hard and achieve on merit, she squanders it and eventually ends up failing and looking ridiculous. So I hope the business owner hangs in there and fights her as every other brand did. In about a couple of months, this copycat will run her regular flop cycle and they will be able to resume business as usual. Hashtag copycat Meghan Markle. P. Dina, brutal, but based on facts. This is now surely a pattern of behavior.
Yes. Does she not have no shame? I mean, really, woman, what is wrong with you? I mean, I would be so embarrassed to be known for stealing people's intellectual property, their ideas. I cannot understand for the life of me what is wrong with her. She is really delusional. She lives seriously in a different universe. She doesn't live amongst us. She does things that make completely no sense. It is like, don't you know we can see you? Do you know we see the proof? Are you really that klug about what you are doing? It is mind baffling to me. Just Harry, has he woken up out of his delusion? What's going on? I don't understand this,
Well,
Dan.
no, he hasn't,
It
because
makes no sense.
he's allowing himself to still be used in her Instagram post. It's like the guy sends the wife home from the Invictus Games. It was too late though, P. Dina. She had already destroyed it. Now
Yeah.
he's trying to blame the British media rather than turn to and blame his wife for the terrible coverage of those games. Then he allowed himself to be pimped out once again as her little assistant in that video behind the camera. I mean, it's embarrassing for him. He is cucked. He is controlled. It's very unfortunate.
Yeah, he's going down with the ship. I mean, he literally is going down with her. And for me, I think it sends a wake-up call to men in general because there are a lot of women out there like Megan that are succumbing to these vile women who just use people up. And it's time to put a stop to it. We have to get the word out, make it known what is happening because Megan will keep doing it. She will stop at nothing. She will act like people don't see it because she doesn't care. And it's just appalling behavior. I am just sickened by how she behaves. I don't understand for the life of me why she thinks she can get away with this. I think this is why she has to be sued. Somebody has to show her once and for all publicly. No, you got to stop.
At this point, does Meghan even have a future in Hollywood? Meghan's business practices have been exposed. Even Hollywood is turning against her. Gwyneth Paltrow backing a small business over Meghan speaks volumes. At some point, even her biggest fans have to admit, Meghan is not a businesswoman. Will Meghan's as ever brand fail before it even starts? Is this the final proof that Meghan has no originality? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, like, share, and subscribe for more.